We're excited to be discussing how to create an inclusive space for your Cooking Matters program. By creating an inclusive space, you make the experience engaging, relevant, and meaningful. An inclusive space means a place or conversation where participants feel welcome. We want everyone to know that their contributions, experiences, and ideas are important so that they are comfortable to speak up and ask questions. Our goal is for them to reflect thoughtfully on how they could use the information in their own personal lives.
I'm wondering if I could get somebody to volunteer to raise their hand and let me know what brings them here today. What brought you to Cooking Matters?
When you're starting to plan your classes, take some time to find out about your audience. This may help determine which lesson and topics might be a good fit for your participants. Consider a time you were told to plan ahead of time. Was it helpful? Letting people know the expectations may make them feel more comfortable. Another way to make participants feel more welcome is by establishing trust as a group. We recommend planning for enough time to let everyone share. Topics you can ask about are favorite foods or food experiences, or celebrations or traditions your family enjoys, to get people to open up and start a conversation.
What do you all consider when you're choosing food for your family?
Food and culture are linked in very personal ways, and we all have our own food histories and experiences. Creating an inclusive space is about meeting people where they are at. For example, some participants may come to classes with no culinary experience, and others may have had professional training. Or, participants may have had experience feeding an infant, while others are brand new to it. As instructors, you can use the tips and tricks of guided conversation to learn about what your participants know, and don't assume knowledge or skills participants have. Make sure to ask. Another thing you can do to create an inclusive space where participants feel willing to share is to set shared ground rules. Some examples might include listening to others' experiences and questions, being willing to try new ideas and even new foods or ways of preparing them. Not everyone has the same foods they like or dislike, and that's okay. Be willing to talk about food dislikes too. Ask what participants might consider instead.
As facilitators, it's important to stay neutral and not label foods as good or bad. Address food as nourishment, enjoyment, and community building. You may notice that your experience is similar or different than those in the class. Be curious, listen, and show a desire to understand the cultural background of your participants. Let them tell their own stories. People bring their own ideas about foods and food practices. This all equals culture. Be responsive to the culture someone brings and plan to ask questions to guide your instruction and avoid misunderstandings. Be alert to this diversity of cultural practices and be willing to be open if there is something that is making someone not feel included. During conversation, be patient when asking open-ended questions. New concepts and thinking can take some time, especially in other languages. Know that your class may not always go according to plan. Creating an inclusive space is about being flexible and meeting the needs of the participants in your group. As you continue to listen, be responsive, and as needed, tailor your lessons. By practicing these ideas to create an inclusive space, participants will feel more at ease and may consider making changes that work for them. Thank you for making this a priority in your program.